future, talk radio will actually educate, inspire, and make you think. The future is now. Topics and music that affect your life from Universal Broadcasting Network. Tune in at ubnradio.com. Now that you've found UBN Radio and discovered our quality talk shows, it's time to spread the word to friends, family, and the universe. 24 hours of music and talk radio without limits. That's why people keep coming back for more. That's ubnradio.com.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, love, laugh, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Fay on ubnradio.com.
And welcome. You are tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa every Tuesday at naturally high noon on Universal Broadcasting Network. Broadcasting out of the Sunset Gower Studios in Hollywood, California, and every Thursday on my NBC News Radio channel, KCAA AM 1050 at 7 p.m. for your commuting pleasure. And this is a show about hope and how to be happy 88% of the time. So there's no gossip, no scandal, and no K-words, no Kardashian talk at all, and no CNN, no constantly negative news that we get in the headlines. Instead, we focus on the heartlines and how you can be happy 88% of the time. Yes, I am Dr. Marissa. I am your cheerleader for balance and hope and happiness. And today is that time of the month. It is Call-In Tuesday, Thursday. This week, every second week of the month, we do have people calling in to get their life tires balanced and their BS, their belief systems, smog checked so that they can have happiness 88% of the time. And before we go to the phone lines, I do want to say 新年快乐 or 恭喜发财, which a lot of people know, or 恭喜发财, which is the Cantonese version. Yes, it is Chinese New Year on Thursday, and so I've been celebrating all week. I'm in red again, so we went from Valentine's to Chinese New Year, and it is the year of the sheep that is coming up. For those of you who are turning or are 12, 24, 36, 48, or 60 years old, or 72, you are born in the year of the sheep, and this is going to be a great year for you. They're calling this year a year rich in positive emotions and intoxicating amorous affairs. So that sounds really good. If you are single and a sheep, you're not going to be single and a sheep for very much longer. You're going to have intoxicating amorous affairs. And so, yes, Chinese is my heritage. If you haven't noticed, I know I'm not a natural blonde, as you thought, but I am going to teach you a little bit of Chinese. The 新年快乐 to impress everybody. 新年快乐 means happy new year or new year happiness. Now, Chinese is the most difficult language on the planet, and I'm biased, yes, but it's because the intonation means everything. So if you say 新年快乐, which sounds like 新年快乐, but 新年快乐 actually means wash your face quickly. So you can go from Happy New Year to washing your face quickly if you don't get the intonation right. So you can replay this one and learn 新年快乐 and impress everybody around you for the New Year's coming up. And let's go to our phone lines. And our first caller, I think, is Angel. So welcome to the studio, Angel. Happy Chinese New Year.
Happy Chinese New Year.
Wonderful. And I actually looked you up. Do you know what year you are? Do you know anything about
the year of the ox?
You are the year of the ox. And guess who else is the year of the ox? Me.
Yeah.
So we're both ox.
Yes.
Do you know what that means?
Oh, you are. What does that mean?
It means that
We
you
have a synchronicity going on already.
exactly. That would be one of the things. Actually, you know what? Let's wait and see what comes up from the call in and then remind me to bring in what your characteristics are and see how much of that has influenced your situation. How's that? Let's make it into a
That
game.
sounds wonderful.
Wonderful. So let's connect first. If you put your feet on the ground for me and have your hands palms up and eyes gently closed, I'm going to connect with you, taking that deep breath in through your nose and releasing through the mouth. Soft shoulders, soft elbows, soft knees. Breathing in through the nose. And connecting with chi, your breath, my breath. And one more deep breath in. Into heart chakra. And releasing all the stories and the drama. Gently opening your eyes. And so on a scale of 1 to 10, let's look at some areas of your life. Starting with health and well-being. 1 being really not great, 10 being absolutely out of this world. How would you rate yourself in terms of your health and well-being? 1 to 10.
I would say 5.
Okay, 5. And then next category is your job or career. So again, same scale, 1 to 10.
3.
3, okay. And on relationships, on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'm going to say when my heart feels 7.
7, okay. So we always like to commend or appreciate. Those are the things that are working. One of my teachers, Brother Ishmael Tate, says that, if you focus on the area that is working well, then the other areas get jealous and they want to work well too. So first we're going to give some gratitude and appreciation for the fact that your relationships are at a 7, which is a great number. So appreciating yourself on that. Take a breath. Good. And now we're going to go to 3. The 3 number was on job and career. So the good news is it's not 1. And what is, let's start with what is keeping you at that low end of the scale, and what would need to happen to get you to a higher number?
Well, I think what has me there right now is that I have been pursuing an entrepreneurial track with my blog that has turned into a social enterprise, Lovin Lines. And I've exhausted my savings, but I haven't exhausted my energy or my inspiration for it. However, because of the financial position, I am looking at possibly going into more career type full-time work, which kind of pulls me down, and I'm not sure about it, but then I feel like that's what I need to do. Yet I really want to be more devoted and feel like I want to keep all of my channels open and everything open for pursuing and developing Love Enlightened. So I feel like really in a catch-22, in a bind, and wondering how to get out of it.
Okay. All right. So taking a deep breath in. That was a breath for Love Enlightened. That's an activity that brings you joy. I can hear it in your voice. That brings you lightness. That brings you inspiration. That brings you creativity. True?
Yes.
Okay. And would you say that you are a creative person?
Yes.
Would you say that you are that it makes you smile when you're inspired?
Yes.
Would you say that you like discovering things that are the path less trodden, or you are you like doing new things and forging into new things?
Yes.
Okay.
All of the above.
Okay. So that's who you are. And just because you're not going to be right now because of valid constraints, temporary temporary valid constraints as you have been going. That does not impact who you are. Does that resonate?
Yes.
So that same loving inspiration, creativity, forging, creating, entrepreneurial, that part of you will always be present in whatever avenue is presented in front of you. Because the BS that's blocking you, the belief system that's blocking you, is that there's only one way to express that part of me. And that way is the way that I have been doing it, has been this dream that I've had, and I've done it, and I did everything I was supposed to do. So why is it not generating the money energy that it's supposed to keep it sustained?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's what I'm with you.
Okay. So I want to reframe you. I want to change that BS, drop that particular BS, and let's move into something that isn't quite so low vibration. Okay. Let's go to a high vibration place. Is that what you have been able to do for how long with this website or the blog?
3.5 years.
Okay. You have sustained for 3.5 years a place or a chapter in your life where, what were the benefits that came out of that? When you think back to that, what are the best moments of that? What did you love about that?
What I loved about it was expanding, knowing that I was in this place of receiving my highest good and just in flow with spirit, mm-hmm. and bringing it out and receiving that the name itself, Lovin Lines, came from spirit and deep meditation, mm-hmm. and that whatever comes from it is a truth that is usually shown to me for my life, mm-hmm. and I have joy and courage to share it with the world because I know it's a truth for me, then mm-hmm. it's a universal truth for others. Mm-hmm. So the universal truth, and I love that part. I love it, and I love how it actually expands literally to all corners of the earth, what I call a global heartwarming
Beautiful.
Cause,
mm-hmm.
and meeting people from all corners of the earth, just totally based on the energy and the love energy. So from Japan to Ireland to, different parts of the U.S. to, all around the world, it's just been so phenomenal mm-hmm. and mm-hmm. affirming.
So this is a positive global warming.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Global heartwarming.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
It's a global warming effect. And that effect was inspired through you. And you lovingly used your money resource to support this activity. And you were, and some people do this and they can only sustain it for 6 months. Some people do this, can only sustain it for a year. You sustained it for 3.5 years. And my guess is that you really, the dividends of the people that you touched, the people who were helped by it, warmed by it, the connections that resulted from it, you only know the tip of the iceberg. So everything else is below the surface and you have no clue, but you know that it was an activity well worth 3.5 years of your lifetime. No? Yes? Or no? Yes. So no matter what shape it takes from this point on, know that if this is the rocket of your desire and the heart where your heart's desire is, it is going to always be there in some form or the other. Okay? That's just a given. It's there. It's in your vortex, as Abraham says. It's there. It's done. It's made. Now, your job now is to, with the situation at hand as it is, there's another adventure waiting for you. And we don't know what it is. And if we say we think we know what it is, oh, I have to go back and do what I hate doing. Okay. That is the worst possible thing that you could put in your mind. If you can get yourself to the place of, I cannot wait to see what this next chapter looks like, and be completely open to every single opportunity that happens in that space. So if you have a choice every single moment to either grieve the loss of, which it isn't, okay, but you have a choice. You can grieve the loss of and grudgingly sit on your ornery disc into the future. Or you can say, for now, we're bookmarking this. And wasn't it a fabulous 3.5 years? And it will continue to be in some form. I don't know what, but I trust that the universe knows the best. And right now, there's something else that I am supposed to be doing that still uses my same gift, talent, and ability. Maybe it's a small company that needs your expertise because you know how to launch this. Maybe it's another, maybe it's a nonprofit. Maybe it's a for-profit. Maybe it's a B Corp. That's the newest thing. Businesses with a conscience that are launching right from the ground. Our whole business structure and economic structure is going through, as you know, tons of shifts and tons of changes. And there seems to be this need for balance between the old construct of all we do is make money, and that's the most important thing, and we do everything, we don't care about anything else, we just want to make money, okay? And the other extreme that says money doesn't matter, and we're doing this because it helps people, and we're a not-for-profit, and we don't want to make money. That old situation, that old BS about how economy operates is being completely blown apart. Okay, so what's transpiring right now is this beautiful, interesting place where nonprofits and people with causes and people who want to do good on this planet and people who want to talk about our spiritual gifts and love and light and peace and joy and put it into business, right? And business people who have spent their entire lives making the dollar and are completely unhappy. So this is a time for coming to the middle, coming to that balance, coming to that place where I'm so excited to see these companies. Yes, it's wonderful that Union Bank has a corporate, responsibility division. One of my ex-boyfriends is in that position, and it's wonderful that large companies do that. But isn't it even more wonderful now that startups are partnering with causes right from get-go? So things like Tom's and, the toothpaste, Ben and Jerry's, those used to be, the examples, the rare examples. But more and more and more and more and more companies are doing that. So you are in this fabulous position where you have the experience and that you can talk about that experience. And when you fill out a resume, you absolutely put down what you've been able to do, which is operationalize beautiful things and make it applicable to everyone across the planet. I mean, that's what your work is. It's not necessarily to jump back into something you hate, but using what you know now. Sit down and go for a walk and ask for the inspiration to use the same gifts that you have around creativity to brand what you know as a result of these 3.5 years. And then as you become ready in that, the situation where the company that's looking for you is going to be able to find you. Isn't that a little bit different way to looking at the next step than I got to give all this up?
Yes.
Just a little?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my hands are tingling. The vibration's up. It's a beautiful way to look at it. Is it the truth? Is it the reality? Of course it is. Why should that whole BS of, you have to hate your job, or you really have to hate work and live for your weekends. You really have to, suffer to get ahead. What? No.
Yeah.
It's not like that. So don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, because you don't know.
Yeah.
You could tomorrow, if you stay in this vibration, you could line up tomorrow with someone that says, you know what? I just won the lottery and I want to invest in your product. And they could give you, $100,000 to bring this. You just don't know. But what we tend to do as human beings is whatever sprout is growing, we take it by the sprout and we pull it out of the dirt and look at the roots and say, "Are you growing?"
Mm-hmm.
And then it dies.
Yes.
It's not dead. There's no waste in here. This was not a wasted effort. This was not you're not at a dead end.
May I interject?
Absolutely.
I totally believe in Love Enlightened, and that it's my sole purpose.
Yes.
And I really want to be 100% into it. And I do feel like I'm falling behind right now in my life. For the past 6 months, I've been doing a lot of caregiving for my father, who's been ill. And on top of everything that's going on, I feel like that is a priority for me. I have to admit that.
Yes.
I'm fighting. I feel like my health and well-being is at a 5 because I'm fighting fatigue constantly. And but what I'm proud about is that I continue to do things to renew my spirit. However, I know I'm at this kind of place almost on a daily basis with fighting my fatigue.
Okay.
And trying to just keep up with everything. So I just want to be honest in this moment where I have you, we're in this alignment and agreement right now to just hear from you from whatever the Spirit has to say.
Wonderful. So here's what I'm going to say. This is the tough love part. You ready?
Yes.
I love you very much. You are love and light. Then why are you not love and light to yourself? How can you possibly be it for everyone across the planet when you cannot love yourself enough to not see this 6 months as lagging behind? The 6 months is about your work in action. You are providing that to your father. You're providing that for yourself. Well, you're not actually providing that to yourself, because instead of seeing this as the action side, you see this as, I've got another thing that I've got to do perfectly. Take a breath. Good. Good releasing. Really good releasing. Tears are the disinfectant that keep our hearts soft. Go easy on yourself. The universe doesn't stand there tapping its foot saying, "Where is it? What have you done for me lately?" We don't have a friendly universe that does that. The only thing my UPS man does for me sometimes is kind of laugh as I swirl about. Go easy. Go easy. Really practice what you're teaching. That's what's happening right now. It sucks. I hate practicing what I teach. There's not much I hate. Hate's a strong word. There's 3 things I hate in life: cleaning, losing things, and having to practice what I teach. Go easy. Right now is the time to find some place that you can make some money energy to and I'm sure there's something that you know how to do that's really easy for you. It makes a lot of money, and maybe it's not, it's definitely not love and light, but your love and light is in action now with your father. That's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be there, and it's supposed to be for you. And you know that. And quit fighting. There's nothing to fight here. Quit fighting yourself. Okay?
Okay.
Beautiful.
Thank
beautiful, you. Beautiful, beautiful. Thanks for trusting and being, sharing your pain, because I can hear the joy behind it, and I can hear the weight being lifted. Wonderful. Thanks so much. Oh, Year of the Ox.
The characteristics?
Yes. Bright, patient, kind, inspiring to others, makes an outstanding parent or caretaker of a father, and yet is good alone. Avoid sheep. So if someone that you meet this year, are you married?
No.
Okay. If you meet a guy that wants to date you that's a sheep, like he's like 48 or 60, you're not, according to the Chinese horoscope, you're supposed to run. But if you meet a rooster, okay, someone who's born in the year of the rooster, they're supposed to be compatible with you. So put that in your hat. That's Chinese astrology. But you sound very much like me. So you definitely are an ox. And that dependability and that hardworking, knock it off. Got it? Nope. Did we lose her? I think we lost her. Let's give her some applause anyways. I love when that happens. I know, it's like my friends all go, why do you like it so much when your clients cry? And why do you measure yourself? Because I know that, it's not me. It's like something fundamentally shifted, and that's what tears are all about. And I love the fact that the BS that we grew up with, that it's not good to cry and you shouldn't cry and big girls don't cry and big boys don't cry. That's BS. Crying is a natural release and a natural kind of switching. So if you haven't had a good cry lately, please try. Take a bath, hot bath, think about something sad, turn on some sad music, let it go. Because when you let it go, then there's more room for joy. All right? So I hear music. Or do we have our next caller already set? Oh, we do? Okay. Well, we're almost at break time. If they don't mind holding on, I'm going to go right into some music that reminds me to thank our sponsors for the ability to do this show. And today's sponsor, our first sponsor, is BDM Commercial. Is building your own website or revamping your current site on your bucket list? How about finally making that mobile app idea a reality? Are you ready to launch your web or mobile app with creativity and class? Then BDM Creative is your partner in crime. Branding development and media specialists, BDMcreative.com can show off your $1 million web or mobile app with affordable price packages. And if you mention Dr. Marissa, you'll receive 25% off your first project. So don't delay. Contact www.bdmcreative.com today. That's www.bdmcreative.com today.
Want to enhance the beauty that you are? Treat yourself to a beauty and image consultation with Ricky Ronay, a respected professional who can help bring out your natural highlights in your hair and makeup and put you at ease at the same time. You'll benefit from her experience on sets from The Hunger Games to Marie Claire, Mac to Showtime, so you can get ready for that eye-popping photo for your website, eHarmony, or Facebook and beyond. Schedule at ricky@rickyronay.com. That's ricky@rickyronay.com.
And we're back, and you are tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa call-in episode, and also just a real personal shout out thank you both to BDM creative Michael Gonzalez, who, if you haven't been to my website lately, the number 4balance.org, it is fabulous. And then Ricky Ronay. I don't know any other stylist that can make me look better than I am. And she does it. She did my last really honorable 3-page spread in Marie Claire, Hearst Magazine fashion anniversary special in December. And she made me look fantastic. We did a photo shoot in LA for the Marie Claire China, and she's phenomenal. So thank you, Ricky Ronay. If you ever need your makeup done for anything, if you're getting married again, if you're getting married, if you're having a party, or for no reason at all and just want to feel good about the way you look and enhance your natural beauty, then call Ricky Ronay. All right, and we are back with our call-ins, where my callers call in for balancing their life tires and smog checking their BS, their belief systems. And the next, and our last caller, I did want to give her website a shout out. Angel's website is Love Enlightens, LUV Enlightens, ENLIGHTENS. And so if you can go there and give her some support, that would be awesome. And next we have, let's see, we have Laura from, I don't know, we'll find out. I think that Angel was from New York, right? No, she was LA. Okay. So Laura Mitchell is going to be our next caller in our call-in episode. Do we have some applause? There we go. Hi, Laura. Welcome, Laura, to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa. Are you there? And we lost Laura. That's okay. That's really interesting. Something is definitely going on. This morning I was so excited. I thought I lost my favorite sunglasses, and then I found them, and I was so happy. And then 20 minutes later, I stepped on them and broke them. And then I'm driving here to the studio, and I was just thinking that I should move over into, what do you call that when you move into the fast track? Oh, fast track. That's it. And I was just about to do it, and it was a double white line. And I learned the hard way, or the easy way, that that's not a place to go in, because there was a blue Corvette, 2 cars in front of me who did that and got smacked by the car. There was like 4 or 5 cars, one spun out of control, and we're just going to take a deep breath right now, making sure that everybody that was in that accident is okay. I think they are. I did call 911. I was the first one they got, and they were sending people out. But yeah, so be careful out there. And I think part of it too, it was really good for me. The lesson I got in all of that was slow down. I'm really get to practice what I teach. And I think we have on the line, I'm hoping, our next caller, Laura. Welcome to the program.
Hi, thank you.
Oh, wonderful. Let's get her applause, because that's always a good feeling thing. We'll get Jarvis is feeling the There you go. Thank you. And if you have your feet on the ground and your palms in your palms up, hands in your lap, and gently closing your eyes, I'd like you to just connect with me through your breath, taking a deep breath through your nose and releasing through the mouth. Soft shoulders, soft elbows, soft knees, and breathing in again. Connecting with me through chi, eternal energy. And one more deep breath in. And releasing all the stories and the drama. And when you're ready, opening your eyes.
Yes.
All right. And on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd like you to take a look at the status of your relationships in your life right now. And 1 being and 10 being fabulous. How would you rate yourself with respect to your relationships?
I would say a 7.
7. Great. And then on a scale, the same scale, 1 to 10, for your health and well-being.
That's an 8.5.
8.5. Wonderful. And then the last category, your job or career?
That's probably more like a 6.
6, all right. They're all nicely pretty high. So the first thing we always like to do is to appreciate and commend those areas that are working well. So just take a breath to be in gratitude that your relationships and your health and well-being are high. That's wonderful.
Thank you. That feels good.
Good. So let's go to the 6.
Okay.
So tell me why it's not higher. What is keeping the 6 at a 6? And what would need to change to make that number higher?
Well, one thing I did that I hadn't done in over a decade is I took a job with a corporation. So what I did is I gave up a lot of my freedom and traded it in for 90-hour work weeks.
Ooh.
And it turned out to be sort of an out-of-balance experience for the first few months.
Is it a
So
consulting
I have
firm?
gotten the hours down.
Is it a consulting firm?
No,
Okay.
I work at an organic vegan store, which that makes the health better. So I'm surrounded by good food. It's a chain. It's a big privately owned corporation, so it's a little bit of a cold feeling. You know, I'm used to being an entrepreneur, so I'm a little out of my element working for a corporation where people are, you know, making sure I'm at work at 8 a.m. on the dot and leaving, you know, at a certain time, almost like a clock punching thing. But, you know, I'm able to, you know, I'm more of an entrepreneur, so I have found a little bit of balance where I'm doing my own work a little bit after hours. However, I still would like some more freedom, and even though I can tell my purpose is there in my day-to-day, I just want to be a little more expansive and not get sort of caught up on that rat race feeling that I feel myself on the edge of, you know, most days when I'm at the job.
I don't know. I guess there's a little bit of a disconnect for me on organic and vegan, or organic and corporate. So that doesn't. But I guess if it's a chain, so help me understand why it's 90-hour work weeks.
Well, I've cut it back to 70, which is amazing how much time one can find in a week when one needs to. So it's because I was training the staff. You know, I had to train. Normally, all the stores are based in a nearby city.
Okay.
And instead, I'm one little store sort of out in a smaller town. So I get to be very autonomous. I love that part. However, because I have young people who work for me, I'm having to do a lot of oversight. Where with 5 new employees, I don't have any veterans to kind of teach everyone else. So I'm kind of teaching everyone at once. And there's lots of customer service, lots of sales, and I understand our industry and our product more than anyone there. So I know when I'm there, sales go up. So I'm not as replaceable as I'd like to be. I love it when I can train someone to be great at things I do. I have no problem with not being the best, with, you know, being part of the team. So right now I'm such a leader on the team that I'm really needed for things to go smoothly.
Right. And how long have you been there?
100 days.
We're not counting. We're not. Time is going by very fast. I can tell. You're taking one day.
That means
one day at a time. Sarcasm is another service that I offer. Okay. And you would like more balance. All right. So let's see, Chinese horoscope wise, let me see what I found out about you, and let's see if we can relate this. It's Happy Chinese New Year, 新年快乐.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you too.
Thank you. I'm obviously Chinese. Well, actually, I don't need to be Chinese to wish someone a happy Chinese New Year, but that in and of itself is another story we'll save for another day. But I am proud to be Chinese now. Wasn't always, but I am now.
Yay.
Yay. Yeah. And you are the year of... Do you know what year you are?
I feel like I'm the rat. I don't know why.
Okay. Well, you're not a
Maybe
rat.
I heard it somewhere.
You're not a rat.
That's
but
good.
And if
I'm a New Yorker sometimes. I don't want to be a rat.
Okay. Rat's actually not bad. It doesn't sound like the animal. Same with your sign. I'm going to tell you what your sign is, and you're going to go, but it's really a good sign. Okay. You were born in the year of the pig.
Oh.
Okay. Now wait.
It's my nickname.
Oh, is it? What?
My brother calls me Piganor. My middle name is Eleanor, and he calls me Piganor.
That's kind of strange. Don't you think that's kind of strange? Do. Okay, here we go. Pigs are nice to a fault and possess impeccable manners and taste. They have so much... Oh, here we go. I think the Chinese got you this time. They have so much of the perfectionist in them that others may be inclined to perceive them as snobs, but this is a misconception. Pigs are simply possessed of a truly luxurious nature that delights in finery and riches, surroundings, food, lovemaking, and etc., etc. Does this sound like you?
Wow. This would make sense why I wanted to move to Greenwich, Connecticut.
Well, there you go. Okay, and I have, and I'm gonna put $1 down that you are a recovering perfectionist, or that you should. Anyone that works 90 hours,
probably. Yes, that's right. The perfectionist, not being able to walk away and let it be bad.
Yes.
or let it be how it is, even if it's not bad. Thinking it's bad, if it's not
correct. Me. Okay, so bingo. We have a bingo. Okay, so this is because I have a feeling that even if your company told you quit working so hard, they're not the issue. They're not the issue. And they've already said that.
Yesterday to work 40 hours, which was a blessing because now I can.
Yeah, but then
you have to. They told me that yesterday. You need to work 40 hours a week. So that I should be so excited.
Yes, you should be so excited. Okay, so we've got some work to do on you. Ready?
Yes.
All right. So, perfectionism is a disease.
Mm-hmm.
And the symptoms are never enoughness. The side effects are a constant state of dis-ease. Nothing is ever good enough. You're never good enough. They're never good enough. Something always has to be fixed. Sound familiar?
Yes. Strikingly familiar. Maybe sadly familiar is the word.
Okay. So we have to practice recovery from perfectionism. Because if you don't, you're hurting yourself. You're already hurting yourself. I can tell. Mm-hmm. So your health and well-being, if it's at 8.5, it's not going to be there if you keep this up. Because left to your own devices, it will be 1,000 days like this. And then your body's going to go, whoa, Nelly, it ain't happening. Okay. So the good news is we got it at 100 days. This is pretty early. It's treatable.
That's a cure.
Okay. Do you have a pen?
I do. Can I tell you something really quickly that I did that was probably good for myself?
Okay.
Is that I slipped and fell on the ice and bumped my head, and I was told I had to rest for 24 to 48 hours without computer, TV, or email.
You know,
so it's interesting what I did to myself.
Yes. Isn't it? So there's no accident that happened. You know, that expression, the universe does for us what we cannot do for ourselves. But we don't want
Absolutely.
you. But we don't want you to have anything else happen like that.
Agreed.
Okay, so it's got to come from you. So this is what I want you to memorize. Have I done the best that I can with the time that I have, with the resources I have? Have I done the best that I can with the time that I have and the resources I have? Now, as a perfectionist, we will say no.
Okay.
Right? No,
Right.
it's not enough. That person still doesn't know enough to be able to, what if they piss off a customer? Or what if they, slip on something and fall? Or what if, I still have some time. If I don't take lunch, breakfast, or dinner, I still have 3 extra hours right there. Yeah.
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 I grab a green
I'm
drink
glad
and
you're
I say,
laughing.
if I don't
I'm
eat-
glad you're laughing because it's not funny, but I'm glad you're
I
laughing.
know. I'm seeing myself because I literally will say, I'll grab a green drink so I won't have to sit down and eat a salad.
I'm going to shoot you in a second. From now on, that voice has an enemy, and that enemy is me.
Okay.
Okay?
It's got a name.
Yes. Dr. Marissa would not approve of this.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll write that down too.
Yes, do write that down too. I'm coming over with a wet noodle. I'm gonna slash you with a wet noodle. I'm gonna.
That's a Chinese thing.
You're gonna slip on a wet noodle and then have a concussion. Okay, you know this. So the thing is you have a very, 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 very strong internal critic, and that internal critic keeps you constantly in that hamster wheel because nothing is ever good enough. It doesn't matter how much you have accomplished. You've accomplished 88%. And where does your head go? Does it go to the 88% that you've already got done? No, it goes to the 12% that's still not done.
Right. It does.
Okay, and your to-do list is probably 3 times the normal possible human accomplishment for the day. And so is that true?
Yes.
Thank you. I've been watching you. There have been hidden Dr. Marissa cameras where you are. So the first thing to do is you're going to have to cut that list into a third. I don't care if someone told you. I had a client once who said, you do 3 times as much as the average person, so you can charge 3 times as much. And that's a nice thing to say. However, it just fed right into my perfectionistic tendencies. And so if I'm doing what everybody else does, it's not good enough. I have to do 3 times what everybody else does, or I'm not performing at my potential. And that is BS. That is a belief system that will keep me very, very in the anxiety of not being good enough. And so that anxiety is self-given. You are doing that to yourself the same way I was doing it to myself. And it is not a fun place to be. And the worst part of it is we're not very fun to be with because we treat people the same way. So when the same way you look at a goal as being 100% and you're at 88% and everything you've done is 88%, but what you haven't done is 12%. And in that 12% is the anxiety, right? What's wrong? What's not done?
Right.
You do
Right.
people like that too. When you meet a person and at first you think they're perfect, but then you realize they're at 88%. This is what I do with the guys that I date. I don't date 0%, that's a loser. I don't date 100%, that's Mr. Perfect. I date an 88%. But do I focus on where he's good on the 88%? No, I go to the 12% of what he's not. And that's anxiety. And that is not good enough. And that is what's wrong with that person. So whether you...
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, oh, good. I was just about to say, whether you see that or not, it's happening. Thank you for being honest and admitting that it's happening. So for your good health, I'm bringing down your 8.5 on your health and well-being. It's the first time I've ever done that.
10 till I fell down.
Yeah. Well, it's going to get lower if you don't succumb to my wet noodle. So you have to get this perfectionist out of your driver's seat. She will drive you off of a cliff. So take a breath right now and settle into the balanced, centered you, the one that is 88%, the one that gets tons of validation from other people, but when she gets one criticism, goes straight to the one criticism. That's what your critic does. That's what your perfectionist does. And she has to be exhausted. So I want you to start talking to that voice that says, have a green drink. You can do phone calls on your way home. You can answer that email before you floss your teeth. That same voice that is grinding you, okay, is got to be tired. So I want you to be very nice to her. You don't need to scream at her. You don't need to call her names. You don't need to throw her in the trunk of your car. You do need to ask her to go into the passenger seat and say, thank you so much. Let's give her a name. So who was the hardest on you when you were a kid?
I think it was myself, honestly.
Okay.
I always had these desire to need to be better.
Okay. Okay. Well, that voice has benefits, but I'm telling you right now, it's gonna drive you off of a cliff. Okay. So I'm gonna call her Louella, just to make her kind of funny. Louella, you say Louella. Wait. Oh, Louella's going to tell you that,
Okay.
you can do...
That's my great aunt's name that I look up to, that I strive to be like.
How did I know that? Okay,
she was a physician, and she was, she's a great aunt from the early 1900s. She was amazing, and I'm like, how can I not be as good as her when she was born in 1870 or whatever? So that's why you chose that. Awesome.
I did my first snort on the air. Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow, that's okay. All right, I guess I'm better than I thought. I just pulled Louella out of nowhere, and she was real. And Louella is setting some crazy... I'm sure your Aunt Louella doesn't want you to do this to yourself. She's like, honey child, just relax, have some fun, please. Okay, but anyways,
right.
The Louella we're talking about is the one that's like, well, you could do better. There's more in here. You've got more to show. So thank you, Louella. Have a seat. You've got to be exhausted. Everything's going to get done that really needs to get done. And I'm supposed to have some fun in this life. I'm supposed to have some joy in this life. I'm supposed to have some joy that has nothing to do with achievement. I'm supposed to have some joy that has nothing to do with accomplishment. I'm supposed to have some joy because we're called human beings and not human doings. Did you hear that?
Yes, I hear that.
Okay, take a breath. You are now, Laura, in the driver's seat. You are going to work 40 hours. And you're not going to listen to Louella, who's going to say you can do the other 40 at home. Right? Okay.
Right.
So please...
I agree and I promise.
You agree and you promise. Good. I'm glad. And you have a website.
Yes.
That you are also doing in your 10 hours when you don't sleep. I almost don't want to put this out there. I got to be honest. I offer my callers a chance to shout out, but I don't know. There's a part of me that doesn't want to do this. You got enough going on, Laura.
Well, as this takes over, the corporation can fade, and they can turn that over to someone else who wants to work at a corporation that's a big, brand. So, it makes
go
sense
ahead.
to me. It's like doing what I really love will help,
Okay, what's the name of the website?
It is, you won't be surprised, it is invincibleathletes.com.
Of course it is. Because you think you're invincible. Well, honey, I like you human with 88% invincibility, and I would love to have you see yourself that way so you can have some more balance in your life. Thank you so much, Laura, for letting me smack you around with my wet noodle.
Thank you.
Let me know
this
how
is
things
very
are going.
Helpful.
Good. I'm glad.
This is great.
Good.
I really appreciate you. So
Absolutely.
Grateful.
Thank you. All right. That was awesome. I picked Louella out of the ethers, and I nailed it. Ha! Now my achievement orientation is satisfying. Thanks so much for practicing what I teach. Okay, here we go. Wrapping up today's show with a few balance bars. My Asian Oprah giveaway today is a beautiful CD from one of my past guests, Susie Kessler-Lula, and it's called Reflections. So go to my website, the number 4balance.org, and put down Susie. And if you missed her show, it was my 100th show. If you go on YouTube, you'll find it. Fabulous, fabulous human being, my sister. And let's see, my 21-day fast from complaining is doing extremely well. We are building an app. If you would like to help me out, go to gofundme.com/HRAXLO. RAXLO. And today is day 17. And the balance tip for the fast today is if you want a great complexion in your life, don't complain. It is the best shortcut to beauty is not complaining. So next week, it's that time of the month. Someone sing some Marvin Gaye. It is the last week of the month. One of my favorite special series is Sexual Healing with Dr. Marissa, the new Asian Dr. Ruth. And we have someone that I met at the Conscious Life Expo who is the Beverly Hills matchmaker. Her name is Marla Martinson. So it's going to be a great show, sex, romance, and anything to help you with better orgasms. That is Dr. Marissa, determined to make pleasure a G-rated and a G-spot rated topic. That's next week on Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa Pay. That's P for positive, EI. And don't forget, if you missed this or you're getting the tail end of this and would like to hear it again, I'll be on my NBC News Radio syndicated channel, KCAA AM 1050. Dr. Marissa Pay, P for positive, EI. Remember, it's all about balance. Peace in and peace out.
Touch keeps making me want you, so soft and yet so